Hi, I'm Brandon Kirkley. Welcome to this week's edition of Niner News. Last Friday, SGA, in conjunction with student media, held a student body presidential debate in the Union. Here are some highlights from the event.
Both of you have worked on campus. What will you do to help create more jobs for students on campus?
We've actually had a lot of discussion recently with various directors, such as parking and dining and things like that. And all these people are very willing to create jobs. It's just a matter of, or give students jobs, especially with the new student union and everything like that. There are job openings. The big thing is just letting students know that those jobs are available, and as well as advocating for new programs and things like that.
I actually am a student employee. I work in the Writing Center as a tutor on campus. And one of the things that I have to say I've noticed is that I disagree. I don't think there are enough jobs for students on campus. I think there are a lot of jobs that we give to members of the outside community that could be given to students. Jobs in dining, jobs in parking. I definitely think that expanding some of our programs on campus to include more jobs. I know that the recycling department would love to hire more students to handle some of the recycling on campus. So in student government, I want to work to making sure that more jobs and more money are allocated to helping students get jobs and helping them pay for their education.
With the recent arson on campus, do you feel safe on campus at night? If not, what are some things that you and SGA will do to help this issue?
One of the things that I'm particularly interested on campus is the chancellor just recently allocated approximately $425,000 to campus safety. That's a lot of money. And he's allocated it mostly to campus police officers and vehicles. I want to make sure that more of that money goes to better lighting, to more sidewalks, more blue lights, more bike officers, more pedestrian officers. I love that we're doing more for campus safety, and I love that we have more people on patrol, but I want to make sure that that money is spent in the best way possible to make students feel the safest. And I really think that focusing on lighting and bike and pedestrian officers is the way to do that.
We do have quite a bit of money to allocate to security now, but really it's pinpointing where students feel unsafe. And when you can diagnose that problem, then you're able to determine exactly what needs to be done. Both Brendan and I have discussed a few things with the police department recently, and the biggest thing they say is lighting. I'm sure most of you are familiar leaving the library late at night if you've ever parked in the cone deck, walking around like where the venture office is. It's very dark back there, and it's a very vulnerable situation. Also, just letting more students know about what we already have in existence, such as the Safe Ride program and things like that. As well as advocating for more of the mobile towers like they've put in the parking lots. The chancellor said that that's greatly decreased some of the crimes in the parking lots and things like that.
What will you do to improve parking on campus?
The reason parking's been so bad this year, and we had a discussion with Gary Caton, who's the director of parking and transportation. And really last year they got caught, as he says, with their pants down. And because the admissions were not released until not early enough time. So there's a lot of new things coming. There's a lot of new decks coming. There's a lot of new lots coming. But what we can do is, of course, this is also in her platform, and I'm not claiming that this is my idea. This is something that the university's been working on, but subsidized, working with apartments to have subsidized transportation systems. There's a couple apartments nearby that are willing to put up some money to do like that, and that would take some of the stress off of parking.
The parking situation on campus, like you guys, it makes me sick. We don't have enough parking spots. We spend way too much money on it, and it's inconvenient. One of the things that I've been working on this year, and I've met personally with Gary Caton, the director of parking services, twice, and I've been meeting with representatives from off-campus apartment complexes to work on a shuttle system that'll take students from your apartment to campus for no cost. The apartments will subsidize them completely. Other things I think we can do, though, are add empty full lot indicators on the decks. That way you don't spend 20 minutes hunting for a parking spot when there isn't one. There are things like improving the on-campus shuttle system so that if you do have to park on the edge of campus, there's a quick and reliable and easy way for you to get to the center of campus. It's things like this, I think. The parking situation isn't going to get a whole lot better, and a lot of that has to do with resistance from parking services. It's going to be a slow, long process.
I know people brought up the issue of doing Friday classes or weekend classes to make class sizes smaller and also to use up the space that's not being used at all during those times. How do you feel with this?
That is a zinger of a question, because I'm about to say something that you guys do not want to hear. I'm a huge fan of Friday classes. I think if we had more students take Friday and night classes, that parking would be less congested, that classrooms wouldn't be as full, that we could improve the student-to-teacher ratio. I myself have Friday classes, I have night classes. I know they're not the best times. Those are times that you guys want to spend with your friend or sleeping off a night out. But I really think that to benefit all students, giving a wider range of class times that are available and utilizing those empty hours when our campus is just dead and empty, I really think that's important, and I think that's something student government should work for.
I agree with that. You just have to take into consideration, logistics, and it depends on what you're talking about utilizing classrooms. It depends on what you want to put in there. If it's student organizations needing classrooms, then I would say that a good idea would be to, set up ways for student organizations to be able to communicate, to possibly reserve those rooms in a better, more efficient manner. But as far as other things, then you get into the specifics and the logistics, which I can't directly speak to that.
What are you going to do to make dining more appealing to students on campus?
I would say that dining already is pretty appealing. I know that the people at Chartwells are doing a fantastic job. Really, it's trying to figure out what students want. But there are certain things that students do want that are just not feasible at this moment in time, just because you got to add new dining options, you have to cover overhead, and if you can't cover that overhead, then we're just, flushing money down the toilet. So the biggest thing is just to make sure that those things work before we start bringing things. But we have certain places on campus that are just not doing well, like the Energy Zone. I think a few days ago, per day, it did like $300 and some in sales, and possibly looking at different things to put in there based on what the student opinion is.
I've got to agree with you on this, Rob. For Chartwells, it is the triple bottom line. I love Chartwells. I'm on a close first-name basis with most of the people who work in there, Andrew Lips and Shauna Bagnell. One of the things that they've emphasized to me is, for them, it's the dollar. So one of the things that student government needs to help show them is that they can please students and meet that triple bottom line of profit at the same time. And one way that I propose doing that is closing down the franchises in the areas that students don't really care about. How many of you guys have eaten at Main Street Market this week? I know I haven't. That's a small amount compared to the student union. And I think that a lot of people would like their Pizza Hut and their Burger King back and would be in favor of opening the SAC and closing Main Street Market. So I think that listening to students and hearing what you guys want is integral. And this is not something that I'm set on. It's all about what you guys want. But I think that we can work with student needs and Chartwell's bottom line to make a good compromise where students are happy and have the food they want to eat on campus.
It's really just, like I said, our whole campaign is based around, we want to hear from students. And, we're not trying to make unrealistic promises or we're not trying to make too many promises. We're just trying to, focus on first things first, listening to students, hearing what they need, and then trying to take the steps to put those things in place.
If you take nothing else out of today, I want you to take that what student government and what UNC Charlotte are ready for are student leaders with experience, student leaders who are committed to this university and who have proven that commitment. Chris and I have. Charlotte is ready for us for that reason, because Charlotte is ready for committed student leaders. Chris and I are those student leaders. Charlotte is ready for Smith McDonald 2010.
Make sure to visit vote.uncc.edu on April 6th and 7th to vote for your candidates. On April 8th at 12 noon in the Student Union Rotunda, results will be given. Radio Free Charlotte and Niner Online will be on hand for the event. Now here's 49 seconds of sports.
Do you smell what 49 seconds of sports is cooking? Clock! Bam! Okay, the men's baseball team got a huge win over USC Upstate, 24-2, scored a lot of runs. Ryan Rivers as usual, Zane Williams and the whole crew doing their thing. Gotta love it. Baseball's playing awesome. Softball, Emily Jeffries pitched a no-hitter over the weekend. She's still playing awesome. If you don't remember her, she's the first person to ever win the Gold Wire Player of the Week trophy. She had 17 strikeouts then, no-hitter now. She's really, really good. Boom! Woo! All right, the Gold Wire Player of the Week, the first track and field person ever, Amanda Gocious. Not a lot of markers fell. Boom, give me the trophy. All right, you just won this beautiful hand-carved trophy of wood and gold and everything awesome right here. Here you go, Amanda. This one's for you. And anyway, we're out of time, so as usual, slammer, jammer.
Every year, area colleges host a concoction that features dancing and modeling. Niner Online's Mariah Gurley and Brittany Norton covered this year's at CPCC's Halton Theater.
Hi, I'm here with Shelly from ACES. And how do you think you guys did tonight?
I mean, we could have went 10 times harder. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I get complacent in the moves and I just don't go full out. But, you know, I'm proud of my team. We definitely worked hard. We were up until 6 a.m. this morning. So, yeah, practicing. So it's tough. It's not easy.
What advantages do you guys think that you have over other non-countries competing?
One that we have, I think, is where we see the troop as a family. You know, we all get along. On the weekends, we hang out, go places. Like, we always go to Denny's. Denny's at like
3 o'clock in the morning. Do runways right there in the aisle. We know each other like inside and out. We know each other's walk. We know how each other do their turns. We just know each other.
Listen up.
What's your name?
David.
Derek Jackson.
I'm Olivia.
Do you like bigger or smaller classes?
Bigger classes,
Why?
because they usually don't take attendance.
I like smaller classes.
Why?
It's more one-on-one with the teacher. It's easier to hear and easier to comprehend what they're saying. Won't fall asleep.
I'd probably go with bigger, just because, one in the crowd.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
I like the Cubs, Chicago Cubs.
I'm not a big fan of baseball, actually.
Atlanta Braves.
New York Yankees.
Why?
I'm from New York, and I think I have a reason enough to, since I'm from there, I should be the team. So, yeah.
See, I'm a Red Sox fan, so I know I cringe a little when it said Yankees, so it's all right. Where's one place you really want to visit in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, Europe.
Where in Europe? Any specific country?
Germany.
Australia.
Why?
I want to go bungee jumping over there.
Brazil.
Why?
Because I heard the women are the best in the world.
Europe, just in general. I just want to go.
Backpack or?
Backpack, definitely.
And finally, would you rather be stuck in a cage full of snakes for a year or have to listen to Justin Bieber on repeat for the rest of your life?
I think I'm going to take the snakes.
Why?
Because I just don't feel Justin Bieber. I'd have to go with the snakes on that one.
Snakes. Definitely snakes. I'm very particular about music, so.
I'd go with the snakes.
Nobody is a Justin Bieber fan. I don't think we've gotten one Justin Bieber answer.
Probably Justin Bieber, just because I don't like snakes at all.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of Niner News. Make sure you come back weekly, stake your claim, go Niners.